It's nice to be here. Actually, my presentation, the presentation from Mr. Varma was a perfect introduction to my presentation, because we have 3 slides in common. So, okay. What I would like to talk about is actually this mirror. You look in this mirror if you drive a car, maybe every day, and there is this little text that objects are closer than they appear. And that is actually what my presentation is about. Business agility is crucial, as the end of your company is closer than it appears. Well, I'm almost 1.5 decades in business and technical agility. Don't have to do this in more detail because the nice lady already introduced me. The agenda for the next 45 minutes is what is unfolding, how do we cope with that, what we need to arrange, and what is the organizational consequence of that. So first, entering a highly disruptive extension event. John Chambers from Cisco said he predicts that 40% of today's businesses will fail in the next 10 years. You can hardly imagine that. Another, he doesn't switch anymore. Oh, I should stay on the stage then. Another prediction from InnoSight says actually that you won't recognize the Standard & Poor's in 2027 because 75% of all the companies in the Standard & Poor's will be replaced by then. You can hardly imagine that either. And this is one of the slides that Mr. Varma also used. This is actually Wells Fargo if you don't look in the mirror. And this is Wells Fargo if you do look in that mirror. And this is FedEx. If you don't look in the mirror, everything seems under control and everything is okay. And this is FedEx if you do look in the mirror. What we actually see is a kind of evolution, and we like to call that a punctuated equilibrium, because evolution is not going the way in the lower left corner, like smoothly from one point to another. It's actually going in a way that you see in the lower right corner. So what you can see here is, for instance, the American car industry. It hardly changed since 1956 until Uber and Tesla and autonomous vehicles came on the market. And the same for landline operators. Here in India, landline operators started in 1850, and a whole period nothing happened at all. Until mobile phones came along, 1973. Actually the first mobile phone ever. It was a big, huge thing. And after that, in 2007, again, the introduction of the first smartphone, the iPhone. So what we really see is some kind of, almost nothing happens for decades and decades and decades. So that is actually, and then you reach a point, and then it's suddenly there is no balance anymore, and you have to reach a new equilibrium. That's actually what you see in the lower right corner. And what John Chambers says is you have to look out for the subtle changes in the market. You hardly see those subtle changes, but you have to look out for those changes. And not so subtle is the emergence of ecosystems. More and more companies are actually ecosystems. Actually, to be exact, 7 of the 10 largest companies in the world are ecosystems. If you can see them here, like Apple and Amazon and Alibaba. And what is also not very subtle is the emergence of AI. You can see that some industries are already very active in AI, and they are already planning a lot of extra investments in AI. And especially the finance industry is on the top right corner. So we could say actually that the world is beginning to revolve around speed, data, and AI. And I think the two first quotes, you have heard them before. Speed is the new business currency. Did you know that? Can I show hands? Can you show hands? Yeah, anyone you familiar with it? Yeah. And data is the new gold. Did you know that one? Yeah, some hands. And the last one is actually a very new one, is artificial intelligence will change everything forever. You can hardly imagine what the effect will be of artificial intelligence. So let us dive short in artificial intelligence. What actually the history is. In May 1997, a machine came better at chess than a human. In 2011, a machine became better in Jeopardy than a human. In 2016, a machine became better in Go than a human. And maybe you know also this landscape, that everything that is underwater in this landscape is already an area where a machine is better than a human. So you can again see chess and Jeopardy and a lot of other things. But very interesting are the shores here. The brown shores, they say investment decisions, driving, speech recognition, vision. Those things are on the shores, and that means they will be covered. Machines will get better at that particular areas in a very short time. I highly recommend this book, Life 3.0. Who has read this book? Let me show. Nobody. Okay. Life 3.0. It was published last year, and it's actually it contains all the latest insights on artificial intelligence. And it actually, why is it 3.0? Because this whole room is filled with Life 2.0. We are all Life 2.0, and which actually means that we cannot adjust our hardware, but we can adjust our software. We can learn new things, but we cannot attach a new additional brain. And Life 3.0 means, okay, a machine can do anything. It can change its software, it can add additional hardware, it can virtually do anything. If you read Life 3.0, it's not a very nice future actually. There are 12 scenarios in Life 3.0. And the first question that you would like to ask is, do humans still exist in all of those 12 scenarios? And the answer is, only in 9 scenarios. So in 3 scenarios, the conquerors, the descendants and the self-destructions, there are no humans left. Next question that you would like to ask, are humans safe? And humans are only safe in 3 of those scenarios. And all the other scenarios, well, they are not safe at all. And the next question that you could ask, and I didn't put it in this particular slide deck, the next question is, are humans happy? And when you see the lowest green one, zookeeper is about humans being kept in a zoo to be studied by AI. You will not be that happy, I guess. Yeah. So, what the CEO of Google actually said, you can see AI as a same step as the invention of fire, the invention of electricity. It's almost that step, that power actually. So what he actually says is AI will transform jobs, justice, war, crime, society, and what it means to be human. So it literally everything. What I also can highly recommend is a little video, 50 minutes, which is called "Humans Need Not Apply." Who did see that video already? I see a few hands. Yeah, very nice video. 50 minutes and you have all the latest insights. So, how do we cope with this? With all these developments? Well, what we need is speed. Speed to react. When you are a FedEx or when you are a bank, you have to react fast. You need speed. You also need maneuverability, because you are continuously linking business opportunities and business threats with technical development. So you have to be maneuverable. And there is this strange thing with speed, because Jeff Bezos, he said actually, we are not looking for 90% decisions, but only for 70% decisions. So you cannot wait until you have 90% of the data you need to take a decision. No, you already have to take the decision when you have 70% of the data. So we are not looking anymore for high quality decisions, we are looking for high velocity decisions. And especially the last part of this quote is interesting. And he says, being wrong may be less costly than you think, whereas being slow is going to be expensive for sure. Wow, that's a strange way of looking. So if you combine speed and maneuverability, then it's only a small step to the metaphor of an airplane. For instance, if you fly an F-22 Raptor at full speed and you turn a left or a right, or you take a left or a right turn, it hurts. It hurts badly, because you are pulling G's, 6, 7, 8, 9 G's, and when you reach 9G, you will suffer from G-lock, and that means G-force induced loss of consciousness. And you can train for that, of course. You can train in a centrifuge, but and what actually happens, and I will show you this short video. What actually happens is that you contract all your muscles in your arms, in your legs, in your stomach, to push all the blood from those muscles back to your brain to stay conscious. And if you don't do that, all the blood will disappear from your brain and you are unconscious. What you see here in the upper left corner is the G-force, and it will go up till 9, so the centrifuge will go faster and faster, and his heart rate is in the upper right corner. And my point, the point that I want to make here is you can do this for only a few seconds, for only a few minutes. So you can do this as a human and also not as a company for hours or even days or even months. So if you want to be speedy and you want to be maneuverable, you have to find another way. This is not the way. We'll show you the video. No sound.
Is ready medical?
Yeah.
Is ready, final ready, please. Activate your brake. Keep it squeezed unless you want to stop. 3, 2, 1, engage. Okay, and just like you've seen just about all afternoon, what I want you to do is take nice, relaxed, good, head back against the headrest. You're going to wait until you lose all of your green lights or half of your red light. When that happens, you're going to take in a deep breath, bear down, and start the strainer maneuver. Good job, just watch your red light. Lose all the green, half the red, deep breath, start the strainer maneuver. Lose all the green, half the red, deep breath, start the strainer maneuver. Lose all the green, half the red, deep breath, start the strainer maneuver. Deep breath in through the mouth. Breathe. 1, 2, 3. Breathe. Arms, legs, stomach. Breathe. 1, 2, 3. Breathe. 1, 2, 3. Breathe. Keep all the muscles tight. Breathe. 1, 2, 3. Breathe. Arms, legs, and stomach. Breathe. 1, 2, 3. Breathe. Work hard at it. Keep tight. Breathe. 1, 2, 3. Breathe. Arms, legs, stomach tight. Breathe. Coming down. Stay tight. Stay tight. Stay tight. Stay tight. Stay tight. Stay tight. Now you can relax. Relax. Totally relax. You are a G monster.
Did you feel like you were in a centrifuge? Like this? So you can keep doing this for days or months or whatever. So you need something else. And what it is actually you need anticipation. You need to anticipate on the sharp turns you might have to make. And well, this book, can also highly recommend this book. It's Anticipate, The Art of Leading by Looking Ahead. Is a book that you could use for that. We will come back to that later. But anticipate is not enough, because there's always big black swans. And black swans means highly improbable events that might happen. So you can anticipate and anticipate and anticipate, and still there will be black swans. So you have to you need another ingredient, and that is anti-fragility. And anti-fragility is that things, systems, organizations that gain by disorder. So the more chaos, the more sharp turns, the better for you, because you are anti-fragile. We'll come back to that later also. So, how do we cope with that? We need speed, we need maneuverability, we need anticipation, and we need anti-fragility. And what do we need to arrange for that? Well, actually, what we already saw was speed and maneuverability, and for that we need agile and lean and DevOps and AI and scaling and agile leadership. I will touch that in the last part of my presentation. And of course, anticipation and anti-fragility, but we still have this mirror. Do we look in this mirror, which actually means, are we aware of the fact what is happening, what is coming? So we need to be aware. We need to be aware of what is coming towards our company. And what you can use for that is a book called Kill the Company. We'll come to that later also. If we shift this in the right order, then it will look a little bit different. It will look like this. So it will look like this. Yeah, in the right order. So first, awareness, we have to start with that. Then anticipation, then anti-fragility, and then speed and maneuverability. So starting with awareness, you can use this book, the Kill the Company concept. It's actually, the concept says, imagine, suppose you are one of your most dangerous competitors, or even worse, suppose you are a combination of one of your most dangerous competitors, suppose. Or suppose you are a brand new competitor of yourself who is starting right now. What would you do to defeat yourself? So just imagine, what would you do to defeat yourself as a company? Looking actually that way. It's a kind of a SWOT analysis on steroids. So it's not only defeat, but you also could ask the question, what would you do to annihilate yourself? Just think of it, because your competitors are also asking that question actually. Are you familiar with this video? Yeah, some of you are. What you don't want to be is the bull. What it actually said, the bull does not recognize anything below a certain height as an enemy worth attacking. So if you look around as a bull, if you look around as a company that is not aware of all the dangers in the neighborhood, then this will actually happen. Do we have sound? So this goes on for about a minute, but the point is you don't want to be the bull. So you have to change your wiring to see those little dangers that can become very large in a very short time actually. And what Kill the Company actually says, okay, let's categorize all those dangers, let's categorize all those ideas and put them in a graph for the change that a treat becomes reality and the impact that it has on your business. So the impact on the horizontal axis and the likelihood of happening on the vertical axis. Or just a little twitch. Instead of that, also your competitors' ability to implement that particular danger. So that's like it could be like this. So the likelihood of happening and the competitor's ability. It are two different things. Okay, so that's about awareness. Then about anticipation. This book. What you see here is if you see what you actually want to do, if you see things early and you are able to connect the dots, well, then you are a visionary leader. If you are able to see things earlier but not connecting the dots, well, then you are a trend hopper. And when you are able to connect the dots but you don't see them early, well, then you are a historian. So actually you want to be, of course, in the upper right corner.